king that walked this globe. To the last black slave they stole, I'm the all in all. Every living thing you see, all of those things exist in me. I'm the all in all. Supreme team, dominant gene, God in the physical. Rose from the bowels of hell, pardon my visual. Cremators doing their job when they get rid of you. Crabs in the bucket, mind state to kill a nigga too. Civil wars in the hood, letting hammers dance. Playing with them pieces of steel, attract the ambulance. Or a prison bid, now your daughter's sick. Ain't nothing gangsta about leaving your seeds fatherless. So I study self and subtracted crime. It takes supreme mathematics to heal a grafted mind. For the 2 and the 3, you need the 1. The only way to get to the Father is through the Son. I met a lot of dudes on that used to shit. They come and go every day, I'm getting used to it. Far as self go, I'm planted on the square. They unalike to Allah, they planted over there. They don't respect the history, they don't recite degrees. But we be using them both to reunite the seeds. Yellow to the brown, brown to the black. Accepted or rejected, you repel or attract. It's been over 50 years, he been gone so far. Now that's a powerful cipher, peace to Allah.
Okay, like I said, this is the Davidson County Courthouse. This is the famous courthouse in which, like I said, we had team one-on-one. Gerald, Sheriff Hege at that time, that was considered the toughest sheriff in America. Known for pink walls and blue teddy bears. Yeah, that's how we was living in there. Pink walls and blue teddy bears. But anyway, just in case I didn't get none of that other footage, we're gonna turn around and go back through one more time. Bell's bondsman across the street. Like I said, back in them times, if you had the right lawyers.
The chain gang prison labor. He removed all TVs and all books with the exception of the Bible from the county jail. The jail was also painted pink with blue crying teddy bears painted on the walls. The prisoners' jumpsuits were color coordinated to identify their offense and were striped instead of solid colors. If you had a blue jumpsuit, you were convicted of a misdemeanor. If you had a green jumpsuit, you were a convicted sex offender, and if it was orange, you were a convicted felon. He also carried a Heckler & Koch MP5 instead of a standard service revolver. He boasted that he had the robes of 8 former KKK members that he claimed he convinced to retire. He also claims that the mafia had a bounty on his head because he had slowed the flow of drugs through Davidson County, although that was not something that was verified. He was the star of a show on Court TV called Inside Cell Block F, which was filmed inside the jail.
I got him that show on Cell Block F. Guards in them streets, like yes. The great Shabu got him that show.
2020, just give him a couple. And also, before Kathy Griffin and her now a very infamous picture of her holding up the fake decapitated head of Donald Trump, the bloody fake decapitated head of Donald Trump. Mr. Hege did a similar photo op after 9/11, where he was in the desert featuring him wearing a black jumpsuit with a bloody sword and a fake severed head of Osama bin Laden, and it said Happy Ramadan. There was a little bit of stuff, dust that got kicked up.
Yeah, racist, yeah.
For charity, he had his own line of merchandise that, which played off his persona as this hard-hitting sheriff that he was, and he also had. It included things like die-cast spider cars, like his vehicle, coffee mugs, even
nitrogen tanks.
And he says that all of the proceeds from the sale of all of the merchandise and any sort of special appearances that he made went to charity. Okay, so what happened to force him out of office? Well, over the years,
let's tell his dirty laundry.
His misuse of county money. He also endangered deputies' lives in high-speed car rides. Alleged also racial profiling and negligence in forcing deputies to falsify criminal statistics.
I was one of them.
On September 15th, 2003, he was charged with a total of 15 felonies and suspended from his office. Now, the charges include 5 counts of embezzlement by a public officer, 5 counts of obtaining property by false pretenses, 2 counts of obstruction of justice, 1 count of endeavoring to intercept oral communication, 1 count of aiding and abetting to endeavor to intercept oral communication, and 1 count of aiding and abetting to obtain property by false pretenses. And even though his thing was that he said he wasn't the no deals, his no deals philosophy, that he was
a criminal
to anybody for anything.
Hopefully my man Hege will give me this interview. We know how we went at it.
At the time when Hege was convicted of all these felonies, a convicted felon could run for the office of sheriff, which on the surface may seem counterintuitive, because if you're a felon, you can't carry a firearm, you can't possess a firearm. After his probation ended on May 17, 2007, he got probation for all of the charges, the felony charges that were against him. But in September of 2009, he entered the race for Davidson County Sheriff again.
Do you believe this guy? He came back to run for sheriff again. Guards in them streets hit the like button.
Overturned law prohibiting convicted nonviolent felons from firearm possession. So his felony convictions were nonviolent. So this was
This is my introduction to Lez Vegaz. I wanted y'all to really know that Sheriff Hege is the real deal.
And him running for sheriff. Eventually, it wouldn't matter because Hege lost in the Republican primary to the incumbent, David Riss. He said he would try to run again. However, in 2010, an amendment was passed, and this was because of Gerald Hege. It was passed to the North Carolina State Constitution, barring convicted felons from running as sheriff. Even the nonviolent felons being allowed to carry firearms. They just made it, because of him, if you are a convicted felon, period, you can't run for sheriff in North Carolina. Well, Hege returned in 2018, and by this point, there was a change in 2017 in regards to the wait time that someone would have to wait to reduce, the wait time for someone to get their felonies expunged off their records went from 15 years that you would have to wait to 10 years. And this was at the end of 2017, in December of 2017, as a matter of fact. So at this point, he is able to run again.
And he does.
He was able to bypass it the first time because there wasn't anything in place yet until after he tried to run and he lost. He enacted the law in the state of North Carolina, and then he was still able to bypass it because, coincidentally, being able to get the charges expunged off his record.
He was a boss, that's why.
He was able, even though he did run again, there were challenges to the Davidson County Board of Elections to not allow him to run, but they denied that. He said that he was still able to run for sheriff. And so he did run, and there was a field of 4 people, including him, and he came in third. And so at this point,
that's right, he still came in third in Lez Vegaz. This is God in the Streets. Hit the like button. This is my GMG South. Let's go, y'all.
He doesn't have quite the same energy that he wants to.
All right, peace, y'all. This is God in the Streets. This is my down south, now see, you know what I'm saying, exclusive. So I wanted to give y'all a full, scenario of everything that happened when I first got to this town, which we call Lexington, North Carolina, but we changed it to Lez Vegaz. But along the lines, when I first got here, brothers that like this that I'm about ready to introduce to you, which is Knowledge, was a young guard that was already here. I want y'all to understand that in Lexington, North Carolina, we had more guards and earth civilized in this small town than any other town, you know what I'm saying, and now see. And without further ado, I'm gonna bring the great guard Knowledge from Lexington, North Carolina, now see, as we say, and he's gonna let you know that when he got knowledge and how he got knowledge down here in Lexington, North Carolina. All right, Knowledge?
Right. Peace.
Peace. So you can let him know about what time did you get knowledge, how did you get the knowledge down here in Lexington?
Well, when I first was introduced to it, I remember we was living in Helen Caper, and GodRasha and Now Allah came by the house. My sisters knew him. And right then, I was young. I was 13 years old maybe, so I kept it moving. But later on, probably about maybe 97, 98, I was reintroduced to it. A lot of my fellas was into it. And the same guards, GodRasha, Now Allah, and I decided to just listen to some of the things that they were saying, and they sounded like they was relatable, and it was real. It was the first thing that I had heard that was real along those lines. You understand what I'm saying? So right then I decided, you know what I'm saying, to delve further into it, and it became something good for me, and it grew my family as far as my brothers in the street. You know what I'm saying? We had rules, morals, and everything after that. So, that's basically how I got introduced to it.
Okay, would you say also that GodRasha and Now Allah coming down here with their children that you first encountered, like GodRasha, Allah rest in peace, born God, and all of them, and Malaysia and Arkim, right, and Allah Man, and all of their children. Would you say that played an important part in helping civilize this little city right here and now see?
Right, exactly. Yeah, sure. I mean, because they was with us. BG, BG, Arkim, Rashad, all of them, and they spoke it every day, and then they were related to things we was doing. And then you just be you just be so surprised, like the things they've been telling you on a mathematical level as far as the lessons go, you can actually see them. And that did play an important part. Yeah, it did.
So we would say that's living mathematics.
Exactly.
And like you said, you got it back in Born God, you was first introduced to it at the young age of knowledge, understanding, which is master, and then you took it upon yourself to get the knowledge yourself. And I just want to let people know, like I said once again, that when I first got down here, about a year after he got knowledge, which is like Born Bill, you know what I'm saying, he was one of the young guards that was out here building, and as you can see to this day, he's still out here building, maintaining his family, doing what we do, and going through, the courses in life. And when I continue with this, you're going to see, because they call Lexington, you know, Pigtown, USA, you know. And these brothers stopped eating swine. And not only did they stop eating swine, knowledge, you could, you know, eyewitness that we changed up the jail system so much that they stopped feeding swine inside the county jail, you know. And this is a bigger picture, because I'm going to continue with one of the most infamous sheriffs in the United States at that time. They called Sheriff Hege, Gerald Hege, that had Team 101, you know. I had a lot to do with him getting cell block F back at that time, but you know, we'll also go into the dirty laundry with them. But you know, he had a hard on for the guards down here, because of course we teaching the knowledge itself, like I said, in one of their towns that has been influenced, you know, through Christianity and eating swine. So, like I said, y'all, I'm gonna bring this to y'all right and exact, and that's why I got my man Knowledge on today. And Knowledge, before we close this little interview out right here, you know, is there anything else that you like to say to the people?
Yeah, I do. I want to thank all the gods and earths that brought it and they kept it real, and because it's been a blessing, really, it has. And I just want to give time to give all of them their flowers right now. Raheem, Nawallah, you know, Shabu, you know, everybody. I just want to say thank you. The young gods, Raheem, Arkim, BG, because he made sure you kept it real, you know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Shaw, you know, I just want to say thank you, man, and it's been a blessing, man. I love y'all.
All right, this is God in them streets. Make sure y'all hit the like button, share, and I will continue with this. Knowledge is just my first stop right here in this great town of Lexington, Lez Vegaz. Peace. Yeah, this is a continuation, God in them streets. My Lez Vegaz production, Lexington, North Carolina. This is another one of the major spots right here. This used to be the barber shop that was owned by my man Steve and Todd, you know, and all the hustlers, everybody from this side, which they call downtown. I'm gonna take y'all around the corner through the tunnel to this little spot. This was a famous avenue over here, Mendola. You know, my man Law Reality used to live over here. And of course, this is a part of the GMG series, because, you know, everywhere I went, we taught, but also, you know, we was a part of the game, or the game was already there. All right? So this is a continuation of, like I said, the Lez Vegaz GMG production.